Hello, happy Monday. For those of you that are in class, we're going to go ahead and start with the daily math practice. For those of you at home, make sure that you are watching this in YouTube and you are pausing and solving. I'll walk you through pretty much all of these problems. That way you're getting the instruction that you need, and that way on Friday you can be super successful on your quiz. So number 1, it says solve. Well, remember we've done this before. We've got 52 hundredths times 10 squared, or 10 to the second power. It's the same thing as doing 52 hundredths times 10 times 10, which is 100. Remember the rules for multiplying by decimals. What's really happening is that this number is getting quite a bit bigger. The easiest way for you to remember is that we're going to be moving the decimal place over 2 places. So if I multiplied it by 100 and I move this decimal over 2 places to the right, I now have a whole number, 52. The way to also think about it is if you think about if I had 52 cents and I multiplied 52 cents times 100, I would actually have $52. So use that same strategy with this one. Okay, our next question says Stella is using grid paper to make shapes. Her first shape has an area of 16 square units. Her second shape has an area of 24 square units. Her third shape has an area of 32 square units. If this pattern continues, what will be the area of her fourth shape? So let's take a look at what's happening here. We know that she's using grid paper to make shapes. Her first shape has an area of 16 square units. Now, it doesn't really matter what the shapes look like right now, because what they're asking us is what will be the area of her fourth shape. So it's probably easier for you to write out the numbers in order so that your brain can see a couple things. Your brain first is probably thinking, well, they are getting bigger. And the second part is how much greater are they getting each step. If you're thinking of your multiplication facts of the 8s, you're probably seeing what would be the fourth shape. Okay, true or false, a square can be classified as a rectangle. True or false, and explain your thinking. And to help us, we have a quick little aside video.
That you're joining me on this lesson, where we get to explore the question, is a square also a rectangle? So let's tackle this problem using an analogy. And we'll start out with the definition of a cookie, which is defined as a small baked treat, typically round, flat, and crisp. And this definition certainly applies to the Oreo cookie, which happens to be one of my favorites.
Oh yeah!
So now I want you to think about the question, is every cookie an Oreo? And our answer, of course, is no. We should know that there are many different kinds of cookies that satisfied our definition, including sugar cookies, chocolate chip cookies, Girl Scout cookies, and gingerbread cookies.
Ooh.
So we can conclude that an Oreo is a special kind of cookie, and that every Oreo is a cookie, but not every cookie is an Oreo. So believe it or not, we just engaged in mathematical reasoning. And now we're going to take that same kind of thinking and apply it to our original question, is a square a rectangle? So let's go ahead and start off with the definition of a rectangle, which is a 4-sided figure with 4 right angles. And again, we want to see if a square will satisfy this definition and allow us to answer the question, is every square a rectangle? Now, we are all familiar with squares and rectangles, and we can easily draw 4-sided figures with 4 right angles that would be considered rectangles and satisfy our definition. I'm sure that you can also identify 4-sided figures that are not rectangles, namely a parallelogram or a trapezoid, because they do not have 4 right angles. Now remember, since the square satisfied the definition of a rectangle, we can say that a square is a special kind of rectangle. And what makes it special is not the fact that it has 4 right angles, but the fact that it has 4 equal sides. So all the sides are congruent. So if you knew that one side of a square was 5, you would know that all the sides must be 5. So we can conclude that every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
So don't forget to explain your thinking here. Okay, number 3, select the obtuse angle. Should be getting better at these. What is the value of the expression? Remember order of operation. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What are you going to do first? Question 5. Solve 685 times 27. And question 6. Use the model to help you find the value of the expression. So if I have 54 hundredths times 2, here's my first group of 54 hundredths. Here's my second group of 54 hundredths. This would be 1 whole, and what do I have over here? Don't forget about your decimal, because these are hundredths. So place value is definitely going to matter, and it's danger zone that you need to make sure that you move your number over to the hundredths place. So whatever this number is here, you've got to make sure we have a 0 in front of that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous Monday.